Hey everyone, welcome back to The Hallway. It's been a minute. It's episode 13. Me and Chris are going to babble on. So thanks again for joining us and let's walk. Yo,
We're synced up.
how long has it been? I don't even know. I would have to check the date of the last podcast.
I feel like we say this all the time, man. It's like, damn, it's been too long.
When me and Chris started this thing, we said, at first we were like, every week, we're going to do it every week. And then, life gets in the way and, things happen.
Bro, it's like me and my exercise goals.
Yeah. Hey, we're almost to the new year, right? So then you got to restart those goals.
One more time. One more first day back, right? Shit.
Yo, with exercising, for me, it's like I've been exercising my whole life, right? Like, did sports in high school, all that stuff. And I try to stay fit now. But there are definitely times where I'm like more motivated to exercise than others. Like there'll be like 2 months or 3 months where I'm like going in. Like I'm consistent, I'm like motivated, I'm doing all my workouts, I'm eating really well. And at the end of those 3 months, I'm like, damn, bro, you look good. But as soon as I look in that mirror and have that realization, it all goes downhill,
Reel it in. Shit, I just did it the other day. I was on my chicken, rice, beans, and not broccoli like you, but spinach. And I was like, let's go. The spinach was rolling. The spinach was 50% of the meal. The chicken was the other greater majority. And the little bit of rice and the beans. Ooh, man, I was
and it's
running
good.
it.
It's good.
It was good.
Yeah.
And you know what? I felt so good. I have all kinds of stomach issues and stuff, and a simple diet like that really worked so well for me.
That's really good to hear, because you used to like not be that way, right?
Yeah, no. I mean, I used to eat a little bit of everything, but then my girlfriend.
Anyways,
yeah. Eating habits get thrown off, when you get into all kinds of shit.
But cool, man. No, that's good.
Yeah.
But I hear you, dude. You go through points of like where, you're on it, and then you go through points that you're not. And I think like it's only human to kind of say, hey, like it's okay to go off track once in a while. I think it's more of like, okay, I've had my week or 2 weeks, or maybe you're really busy in life, so it's like a month. But now, you got to recognize and then pivot and try to, like, come back. Yeah.
And pick it up, clean it up. Like, yeah. And really, it's a feeling for me sometimes. It's like, do I sit on the couch? Well, no. I feel like a lump right now. I need to get out there and do something. So when you're, like, eating well and exercising, there's a feeling that comes with it where you're like, oh, man, I really feel physically well. And that's wonderful. No matter like the weight your class are in or whatever,
for sure.
It's just I feel physically well. It's a moving, I'm thick, but like my thick moves.
My thick moves.
My thick moves.
I'm a thick fluid.
There you go. There you go.
I'm totally with that, man. Like it really is about continuing to move. What is it? It's like whenever you are finally get to the point where you're maintaining like that diet and exercise routine, like if you think about it, it's so much easier to maintain it than it is to like lose it and then get it back, lose it and then get it back. Like it's so much harder to try to get back to where you were than it is to stay where you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the thing is too, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say but sometimes like you be sitting on that couch, you got that Instagram open, or you got that, I don't know. I be on the mobile game sometimes, and I'm like chilling, like.
Oh yeah. No,
it's so hard to move.
Nothing.
It is. It's so hard.
Yeah. I'm telling you, you're just feeling like a lump some days, but every now and then you get that spurt of motivation, and then when you come out of it, you do that 2-3 mile run, and you're just like, damn, that felt good. I'm dead, but. That felt good. And then you sleep hella good, too. It's just like, this is perfect.
It could be as simple as going for a walk, too. Like, it can be, like, you could literally just go for a walk. Like, if you're sitting, like, not doing anything, you're like, oh, my gosh, I have to do something. Just go walk, like, a mile and a half. Like, let the sunlight hit your face. Like, get a good podcast going to, like, educate yourself or something. You know what I mean? Or just listen to music. Like, who cares, right? But, like, just do something. Like, doing something is always better than nothing.
It's the move minutes, you know, like you go to work, you sit down in a chair, you do whatever for 8 hours, and you come home, you go sit on your couch after you eat dinner, and you lounge around, watch some TV. Nah, you spend some move minutes. Get up, get a little active, just a little bit of sweat, bust a little
just
sweat
something
every day.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
There's this thing that Tina would always tell, my girlfriend would always tell me about. It's like it was called Fitness Blender. I think it's fitnessblender.com. And it's this place where I think it's this couple that I think they created it into like a service now, but they have all these different free videos that you can, like, if you have dumbbells or you have certain equipment, it's almost like different filters that you can apply. And you can even do stuff where you have like no equipment and like low impact type of exercises, and they'll have like 15 or 20-minute routines that you can do for free. And they'll also like show you like the difficulty, like through 1 through 5, like the, you know, certain things. And you can
poison kind of
deal.
Exactly.
And then you can do some sort of workout. So if anyone's, you know, looking for a place to start, maybe check that out. Fitness Blender. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, a la carte fitness.
A la carte, yeah.
That's a cool concept, you know.
Apple has their subscription fitness service, right?
Do they?
Yes.
Really?
So I think this was actually a couple years ago that they released it with one of the phone's releases, or maybe it was one of their intermittent releases. But they came out with like Apple Fitness, where you have this subscription. So similar to, I think it's Peloton who does it, where they have the live people who have different classes. It's similar to that. Yeah, but it's that, but Apple's doing it, right? And they have it for different types of exercises and different trainers. It didn't really take off, I don't think, as what they expected. But I think that they were probably just looking for like an additional revenue source, and they thought fitness would be... And I think it was during the pandemic as well, which kind of makes sense, like at-home fitness and everything. So.
Everybody wanted that, apparently.
For sure.
So, you know, I'm sure they sold their units. They met their cap.
Apple can afford to take risks, right?
Yeah,
Apple can afford to take some risks.
Easily.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Nah, the new iPhone just launched too, and the new Google phone just launched for my Google friends out there. So,
yeah. Shut the fuck up. Nobody's on your Android.
Those of you listening on Android, thank you very much. We'll pull up the stats later. I appreciate you. Yes, thank you. The rest of you can dig a hole.
Yeah. I hear you though, man. I know it's like just the customization between Apple and Android. The thing is, man, it's just so it's hard to move, and you're just it's consistent. That's what they have. They have the blue bubbles and they have the consistency. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know what else? You know what else set them apart? I think and this was big, like I would say a few years, probably like more than 5 years ago, probably like 8 or 10 years ago. But when Apple, I think where Apple really differentiated themselves is when at least in my opinion, is when Snapchat was getting really big. And Apple, in terms of their cameras, the way that they take pictures in certain apps was literally light years better than Android's.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
I mean, you can't.
Know.
It's fact.
Yeah.
It's fact.
No, it was. That's the thing. So the thing with that, I'll dig into the nitty gritty real quick, right? So iPhones, they have like an open API where you can call the camera from any app, and it's always the same button basically. And Snapchat, any app will just go, hey, okay, open camera, great. Android now, there's so many different other types of cameras. And
wasn't it like screen grab? Isn't
exactly?
Yeah.
So what they did was they opened your standard viewfinder on your camera and then took a screenshot of the viewfinder instead of actually taking a picture. So there's no post-processing. There's none of that fancy stuff. Yeah. And you know what? It's only like, I think, maybe 4 years ago where Android looked at it and was like, Google's particularly, not any other manufacturers, Samsung, whatever. They looked at it and said, you know what? This is not good enough. They called Snapchat up and said, hey, Snapchat, how do I get that button? How do we do this? And then they did it. And then they started making other partnerships with popular apps like that. Like, they got stupid shit with Facebook now and stupid shit with Snapchat because they know, at the end of the day, the product is only as good as what you use it for and what you use it on. So that makes sense.
But wasn't the tough thing is, and like, you know, maybe not digging too much into the details, but like from my understanding, it was the reason why that they had to do it that way, like where the application itself would simply open it up, the camera, and take a screen grab, is because there are so many. Weren't there like so many different types of Android phones? and like
Yeah.
they're all of the software, like not that it was all different, because I'm sure they were using similar operating systems, but it was like all like a little bit different. So
Just
then
a little bit different.
exactly. So the easiest way to do that was just, okay, open camera and then screen grab, right? Versus Apple,
Yeah.
everything is like basically the same throughout all of the different, you're always using iOS X, whatever it may be.
iOS
Yeah.
X, exactly. Yeah. Well, Snapchat, most of the Google phones in the world right now, the Android phones, are still on an Android version from 10 years ago, and that's the
Really?
biggest problem. Yeah, a lot of people just aren't buying the new phones with the latest upgrades. So you have to support apps on Android all the way back 10 years from now. So even if I give you the latest and greatest, your app still has to be able to support all of them. And that's been a problem. So now you're starting to see apps that are starting to specialize. So Snapchat has like 10 versions now. They have
Really?
the early release version for this specific chipset, the early version for that, you know, like when you download apps on your computer and it says x86 or Mac or whatever, there's 10 versions of the same app now just within the Android platform.
That's interesting, because when I think I have something like that for my Sonos system. So like Sonos has, in terms of the hardware, so those of you that don't know what Sonos is, they're like types of speakers. Like they're speakers that are, you know, you set up to your TV and stuff like that. But you know, they've come out with different sets of hardware in terms of speakers. So, and like now they have two apps, exactly what you're saying. So like one app, and I don't know if it's for the mobile, maybe it's for the mobile devices, what you're saying. Maybe, I don't know if it's for the hardware, but now they have two different apps. It's like the S1 app, which is like all of the older types of equipment. And that may be like what you're saying, like the older versions of phones, it could be.
Exactly.
Or like older hardware, yeah. I didn't know that. Yeah. But couldn't you
just like
like,
a Target.
couldn't you like force them out? Like could like, so as an example, like Facebook as a not a monopoly, right? But couldn't some of
Meta.
But think about this, right? No, but couldn't like Meta, you're right. Couldn't like big tech, like Google and freaking Snapchat and Facebook and all these people, do you think they could almost in a way band together and say, okay, yeah, we have some of the most popular apps, I would say arguably in the world. So we could like say, okay, we're not going to support these phones, and almost force a hyper upgrade, you know, wave of people.
You could. And that's the thing, like Internet Explorer, right? Been around for decades.
It's gone now. They're done, right? Yeah.
It still exists in the background of Edge. It's like Edge IE mode or whatever.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, companies have realized I'm no longer going to support this crap. Cut it out. Upgrade already. Stop being lame. But with things like mobile phones, my phone still works, man. I'm gonna kick this thing till, you know, the next 20 years. We're good. And you know how many people, it's just, there's too much of their market share is on an older version for them to just force, okay, let it go without possibly losing them. Unless everyone, like you said, goes and does it. So if I'm Snapchat, unless Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, all of Meta, and everyone does it at the same time to really force them, if I just turn off it for my platform and no one else does, they're just going to stop using my platform. They're not
Yeah, very true. And then they would just migrate to others. But the thing is, if you think of apps that are successful, apps I feel like nowadays that are successful, and this is not always true, but I would say it depends a lot on users. Like you need and the ones that are successful are those where other people are also using them and connecting with other people. Like it's all users connecting with other users, and the more users you have, the more like successful, and that are using the app to connect with each other in whatever way that may be, the more successful it may be. Like what is this new social media app? It's called Be Here or something like that. It's called Yeah, it's called Media.
That's how all these apps work. Like 10 years ago, apps did not talk to other people. You didn't have like, oh,
Be Real.
share your
Be Real. So, okay, it's sorry to interrupt you. I just want to get this thought out. It's called Be Real, and it's this app where it's a social media app. You follow people, people follow you, but you only have one time during the day to post something. And everyone has it. I don't know if it's everyone has it at the same time or something like that. But it shows you, so you have 2 minutes to do it, and it shows you the front. It shows you the front, and then so like what you post, is you would post as if, you know, you're on a Teams call or you're on a video call or something like that, but it posts what's in front of you, and it also posts, so it shows you I'm explaining this terribly. It shows the front camera, and it also shows the front-facing camera. So you see the larger image of the front camera, and you see the smaller image of what you are, right? So you can so that's what this whole Be Real thing is. Instead of curating all of these posts, right? You put it on and it shows you the front. Exactly. This is what I'm doing right here, right now. Like, I could be working, I could be on a bike ride, I could be doing whatever the hell I'm doing. So that's a pretty interesting concept. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is what I really look like. Right?
Wow. No, that's pretty genius. That's a market that is not open right now.
Yeah.
Because we're all trying to cut through the fake garbage of Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, right? Mm-hmm. So that sounds interesting. I might have to dig some more into that.
The problem is when I download, I think I saw it advertised on Instagram or something. So I'm like, oh, that sounds dope. My exact thought, the similar thought process to what you had. I downloaded it. I saw that, you know, a few handfuls of people, like maybe 30 or 40 people that I knew were on it. Okay. But the problem with that is that I think Instagram and Facebook are so dominant that it's like a person, someone like me, okay, I was on it and I posted on it a few times, for a few days, but then literally all of the other 30 or 40 people that were on it probably did the same thing, and they're like, okay, no one's on it, so I'm out, right? And I'm like, it's tough.
It has to be rapid, widespread adoption.
Yeah,
because it's a social network. A social network does not thrive without people.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, you're gonna have the one guy.
Speaking of social networks. Chris cheated on me, and he was on another podcast, dude.
Oh, what is this mess, man?
This guy,
oh my gosh,
co-host, not even consulting me, going on their podcast. Look at this guy.
Hey, don't call the cops, okay? Don't call the cops.
I'm about to call the motherfucking cops.
Huh? Easy. Okay, so I'll tell you the story. It's wild, actually. It's really quite crazy.
What happened?
My buddy, one of my buddies I met at a bar. It was his birthday. He was turning 40 or whatever, and he's like, yeah, no, it's really cool. We're going to come to his house. We're going to hang out, drink a lot, smoke, whatever. We're going to have a good time. And I said, cool, that's cool. And he said, oh, yeah, and I'm going to have my podcast rolling the whole time. So while, everyone is there, you can have the opportunity to go upstairs to my podcast room and just sit down at the table and record the whole podcast with people. Just cool. Yeah.
Was it free flow? So people were coming in and out type of thing? Okay, cool.
Free flow, anyone come down, sit down, grab a headphone, grab a mic, and just get into it. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. It's a great idea. And he's like, yeah, it's something awesome that I want to do for my birthday. I'll put it together end of the day, and we'll synthesize a podcast series. And I was like, all right, that's awesome. So we go to the party. We're hanging out, and this
What's
one
his
guy,
name? Eric, you said? Eric is his name?
Yeah. My buddy
you call
Eric,
it Party at Eric's or something. You know,
Party
podcast series, Party at Eric's.
Yeah. We go to Eric's house, and Eric is just like, oh, yeah, everybody come check this out. Eric is already drunk by the time I get there. And I'm like, all right, it's your birthday, man. Go crazy.
We've all been there.
Right? And then there's this one guy, Greg. Greg is cool. Greg is, he's all right. He's a little
So, okay, you show
shifty.
up to the party. He's drunk. Whatever, you're filling out the scene. Did you just straight up go upstairs immediately, or you were vibing for a second and then?
I vibed. I had my few. I got a little lit, and then I was feeling it out. I had some other friends there I knew too, so holla,
cool.
You know, you step in, you say what's up to everybody, you do your thing, and then after that, I'm like, oh, podcast upstairs, let's go. I run up there. I start doing my little bit in there. Me and other people are talking. We're drunk and we're going at it, all brotherly love and stuff. And there was this one Russian girl.
It was getting too positive.
Oh,
too many positive.
It was great. It was way too good. And then this guy Greg comes around, right? And Greg has a problem with this other guy. His name's Ducky. So Greg is an educated African American man. I'll lay that out there, right?
Cool.
He's an all right guy, but he likes to drink too much, and he can't handle his liquor. Right. So there's Greg, and then there's Ducky. Ducky's he's a comedian by trade. So
really,
he makes
open mic nights and stuff. He's out here, improv,
He's out here. He's doing his thing, and he just lays jokes. Sometimes the stupidest of jokes, the ones that
he's testing his material, though. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He's testing
continuous testing. And he really shouldn't be saying some of these jokes because, like, some of them are downright offensive to those that don't understand that he's a comedian.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Yeah.
So he's really kind of pushing, because I would argue that as a comedian, right, you got to push some boundaries sometimes.
You have to sometimes.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And you know, Greg just was not having it. Greg was not having it. So Greg starts firing off all kinds of words after some joke that Ducky made, and Greg is.
Do you remember what the joke was? Do you remember like what kinds of jokes he was saying? Like, could you give us an example?
Yeah, he said like a black joke about like black people's dads not coming home or some shit like that.
Classic,
like,
right? Classic shit.
Classic.
Yeah.
It's like it's a thing. People know. People laugh about it.
Yeah.
Like, right? Greg took it to heart. I don't know if Greg lost his dad like that.
Bro, that's what I was saying. Like,
but Greg took it to heart. So I was like, oh, man. And I'm here trying to, like, manage Greg to make sure, like, Eric is having a good time at his birthday party and stuff. So I'm like, Greg, chill, bro. Chill, it's okay.
Yeah.
We're all drunk. It's okay. But
I'm
Greg
black too, bro. It's all good.
Exactly. He's like, Greg, I laughed, Greg. I laughed.
Yeah.
I know he's a comedian, Greg. I laughed. Laugh with me. Greg was not having it. He was not about it, bro.
So what? And so Ducky was. So he was making. Was Ducky making jokes the entire time? And then Greg okay.
Yeah.
But was it that one that triggered him, or like it was a series of things that was starting to. Yeah,
it was that one that set him off, and then they started talking about, I'm gonna fight you, man. I'm gonna stand up, and I'm gonna bust you down, blah 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 blah. And like,
they were standing up. They all got up.
Oh, Greg was on some other stuff. Ducky was trying to apologize because he's like, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. I'm a comedian. I'm just here to joke. That's who I am. And they don't know each other.
So was he a white guy?
Yeah.
It's tough.
So like, he's a white guy. He's like, I'm just a bi white guy trying to like, I'm not black.
Does that help you, bro? Does that help you nowadays? Like,
he threw it in there. He was
like,
trying.
I suck dick, bro. It's all right. Like, I suck dick. It's all good. Like,
I know adversity.
Yeah.
I'm an ally. Hold on.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, all right,
but I'm just a bi white.
Yeah, right,
Oh
right.
God.
I mean, dude literally had like a crop top on or something like that. And I was like,
are you serious?
Right.
Really?
Yes. Oh, but then I was like, all right,
God.
do what you're doing, man. But yeah, he started calling white supremacists, and he like stood up and trying to fight him and all kinds of shit. It got rough.
Ooh.
Like,
so did you manage it? Like, what happened?
Oh yeah, I eventually like toned it all down. I took Greg home and like ordered him an Uber or some shit like that, and I played the good friend card and shut his shit down so Eric could have a good party.
That's what's up, man. That's what you should do. Like that's what friends should do, bro. Like
exactly.
Really. Like you see some shit happening, like especially at your homie's house, like you do the best that you can to handle it, right? Yeah.
And my boy Eric is just gone. Like at this point, when they're ready
he wouldn't
to
have
fight,
been able to handle it.
No. Yeah. He's on the couch watching the podcast. Hey, y'all have fun. Literally.
That's the worst, man.
He was gone. He was gone. I was like, let me not let this man tear up his house and call the cops. And it would not have been great.
I don't like it. That's funny, dude. I don't like getting that way at my own party. That's kind of lame.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, don't get me wrong, it happens. Like, it's happened to me. And the thing is, it's happened to me. And that's why, like, I've been in that situation, and I'm like, damn, I don't like that, because I want to be up. Like, I guess I like to be very
engaged.
Involved I like to be very involved. The last time that happened to me was, like, my birthday a few years ago. When I had, like, I didn't eat in the morning. That's when I rented that house, and I didn't eat. And I was drinking, and then people were giving me shots. People were giving me freaking champagne. Like
pouring them down your throat
bro,
endlessly. I remember. Yeah, they were like, "Hey, open up,
dude." Juan, I don't know. You know Juan. Juan, he actually asked about you the other day. I saw him the other day, and he asked about you.
Oh, sure.
Juan posted like a picture on Instagram like after that weekend or whatever. I don't remember that. I don't remember us taking pictures. And he's like, yeah, bro, we had a photo shoot. Like KJ was taking pictures of us like as a photo shoot. I'm like, bro, like I have no recollection. That was the worst time ever. Oh my god.
It was wild.
The older that I get, man, and we might have talked about this before. I don't know, but it's so fucking relevant. Like the older that I get, the less I like getting fucking plastered, bro.
Yeah.
Like even when I start to drink, like don't get me wrong, I like to drink, have a good time. But I feel like I'm getting better in the sense that like I'm getting more in tune with myself. Like even when I start to slur my words a little bit, I'm like, damn, like okay, I need to slow down because yeah, man, because you start to like see those signs of you like not being in control, and it's like, dude, that's
you stop having fun, at a certain point.
For sure.
Like you just get too sloppy to be like out in public, and it's just like even when you're at home, you're getting stupid sloppy.
No. And then you wake up. I mean, now that I'm 29, dude, my birthday just passed. I'm getting old as fuck, right? But now that I'm 29, I feel like I feel it. I feel like I feel it so much more. I'm just like, oh my god, this is terrible. Oh.
Yeah. I did not turn 29. I'm about to turn 24, and I felt it
your
last
birthday's
year.
this month, right?
Yeah. I think next week or the one after, one of those two. Yeah.
Exciting.
Ooh.
Yeah, you're in the mid-20s. Once you hit that, that's mid-20s, bro. That's mid-20s. Scary.
Yeah, I guess. I know. I guess I got to do something with my life now, right?
Yeah. I think we're both on the way to doing something, bro. We're both on the way to doing something.
Yeah, we're on the way. Where have you been? You've been traveling anywhere new lately?
Last place I went to was, I would say, Canada. And last place me and Tina went to Canada. We went to Banff National Park, which is super dope. Like we did a few different hikes. What was super cool about that is Canada actually has their own Independence Day, similar to ours.
Nice.
So, but we flew in, and their Independence Day is right around ours, funny enough. But we flew into Banff, which is like this city outside of Vancouver, maybe like 3 or 4 hour drive outside of Vancouver to the east. And it's like a mountain town. We ended up staying in a hostel. We fly into Canada. We fly into Banff or the city, and then we drive to Banff or whatever. And bro, we get to this small mountain town, and we go to this hostel. It's like freaking 2 a.m. And we go into this hostel, bro, and like everything smells like booze and feet. Like it was terrible, man. It was like obviously everyone had like went there to party, and like the night was over and like all this stuff. And this was this was Tina's first experience at a hostel, and she was like, "Oh my god, get me out, bro!" Because we're like sneaking in the dark, and the only thing that was available were like bunk beds. So we had to like. We're like walking in, we have no idea where anything is. And like me, I've slept at a few hostels. I kind of like understand it's a bit of a challenge. It's a little bit uncomfortable, right? Yeah, it's different. Yeah. It's different. It's not like a hotel. Yeah.
No.
But for her, it was like this whole thing where she was like, "Oh my god, like this is nuts." And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, welcome to hostel." I mean, I didn't want you to have like, probably the second worst experience that I've had at a hostel like right now as your first. But I mean, hey.
But here we are. Yeah,
here we are.
It's happening. Yeah.
But we did that. Then we went to Vancouver, which is a super cool city, by the way. Those of you that haven't been to Vancouver, I would definitely recommend checking it out. So it's just north of Seattle, right on the beach. Super diverse.
Okay.
It actually has some of the largest Asian influence like anywhere. There's this one place just south of Vancouver, maybe like a 30-minute train ride, but it's called Richmond. And in that city, like the population of Asian people is like 80%. It's 80% Asian. Like the signs there, the street sign, not the street signs, but like the business signs and everything, on the front of the stores, they're all in Mandarin. And they have this market, like this Asian market, that's like how it would be in, like China or something. It's super cool. It is so cool. Yeah, I really liked it. Yeah.
Asian as fuck. That's what it is. Those Western cities, they all are just surrounded by Asians. They're overpopulated with Asians.
We could say the same in Florida about Hispanics, right?
Very
and Latinos,
true. Yeah. Florida's riding the same wave, and then you go to the middle, and then you got Mexicans. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. I went out to California.
That's right.
Twice, I think, since we last talked.
Okay.
One for my buddy's birthday, and then the other day I went to a conference, a work conference, and same deal. Just Asians everywhere, left and right.
A lot of influence, yeah?
Yeah.
Were a lot of Asians at the conference as well?
I think it was pretty balanced. There was a lot of people from all over, which was crazy.
I love that. Yeah, I love that.
There was like 40,000 people, and we were in like, there was a concert. There was all kinds. It was like no conference I've ever been to. It was a little too big, a little too bold, but it was a great action-packed week. It was wild. I enjoyed it.
Did you get to explore like around San Francisco at all? Like, what did you do while you were there? Like, primarily hang out with people that you met and stuff?
Yeah. Like, they had some, like, built-in events, and, this was work for a big company. They were like, hey, come here and try our product kind of thing. Like, let's have a happy hour with you.
Trade show type of thing.
Yeah. Exactly. So they're pushing the sales after hours with, like, free beers and stuff, So I enjoyed some of that. And then we
went to the free beers, give me your pitch, and they're like, all right, I'm out of here.
Yeah. Send me an email. I'll talk about it later. Yeah. I think the first day I got there, we got off the plane. I went with Roger, actually, and we were walking around, and we're just hanging out because we got a day early, and it was like noon. We're like, let's take a walk, and we'll walk all the way around and see some fun stuff, get souvenirs for the friends and family, whatever, on the way back. And we ended up walking, like, the whole bay, like, not the whole bay. The bay's really big.
I was like...
all the bay.
8,000 steps on your...
Yeah, every ring closed. Let's go.
Right.
Now, we walked so far. Oh, my gosh. We were, like, set a target for the day. We're like, we want to go to In-N-Out, but we're going to drive there because it's really far. So we'll walk for a little bit, and then we'll drive there. We ended up walking all the way there and then all the way back. And I was like, Jesus. And there's, like, one of the steepest roads in San Francisco, Lombard Street. And I'd driven up it before in, like, a car. And, like, I'm telling you, this is one of those ones where, like, you're almost standing up in the car while you're like, going up and down. It's really weird.
That's kind of sketchy. Yeah.
Right? If your car is, like, manual, you just fly up it and then, no regrets. Yeah. We walked up it, and it was like, damn, it hurt. My legs, this is me after talking about exercising.
Right.
I'm in my wave of not exercising right now, so this really hurt. And I was sore, like, the whole week. And I pulled a hamstring, like, 2 years ago, and I felt it. I was like...
What?
Yeah,
you
right?
pulled a hamstring 2 years ago? Chris.
Same spot. I was like, no, let's not do this. This is not the time. Not the time.
Oh, my God. Bro, that means it didn't heal then.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. Probably not.
You gotta get into that yoga, my guy. Dude,
maybe.
You know what you should do? Are you single now?
No, not.
Oh, okay. No, I was just gonna say, like, those of you that are single out there, like, if you want to meet some chicks, what you should do is spinning. What you should do is you should go to your cycling, a local cycling studio, and you should sign up, and you should go there, and you should exercise because it's crazy cardio, like really good cardio. Intense. And there's also chicks there all the time. And if you want to meet chicks, you can go there, like, dude, start talking to them, like, whatever, you start seeing them there regularly. Like, it's easy in, man. Easy in.
I, like, during my university days, they had the gym on campus, and they were like, hey, we got these classes for free, come check it out. And I was like, I'll come check it out. And literally I walked in there, and it's like probably 90% girls. I was like, wow. It's not a bad place to be.
No. Because the thing is, look, it's not about, there's a lot of chicks, which is cool. But at the same time, like, that workout is, like, really good. Like, if you push yourself, it is really, really good. And you burn a shit ton of calories.
I was struggling. This is like, I was struggling.
People think it's lame or whatever because girls do it or whatever. It's really not. Like, and that can allow you, at least because, like, I'm into cycling, right? Like, those of you that can't see, like, I have my bikes and whatever. But, like, cycling in general, like, is really, really good for your cardio because instead of, if you argue, you could burn more calories running at the same amount because you're kind of, like, putting more stress on your body when you run. But, like, if you want to swap between, like, running and give your joints, like, your knees and everything a break, you can pivot to cycling or doing some sort of spinning. And, dude, the cardiovascular that you're going to get is, like you're sprinting. it's
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
And you're preserving your knees and like your ankles and everything so you can run
That's
like
a big
another
one.
day. Yeah.
That's a big one, yeah. The strain on your joints is a lot less.
Yeah.
But like biking in general, it's also kind of fun too when you get into it outside of like just spinning on a stationary bike.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can go out and explore, hit the trails, you know?
For sure.
I think you did that the other day, and like that's just something I haven't done. There's a massive trail here, and I've probably hit it maybe twice or 3 times in my life.
It's awesome, dude. It's awesome. Like, I really love that trail. It actually really got fucked from the hurricane.
Oh,
But, yeah. Because
yeah.
I had went the other day because work is a little bit light right now because I just came back from PTO. So they're going to get me on another project next week. So I had, during the day, you know, like 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock, something like that.
Yeah.
I went on the trail just to kind of get some exercise in. And like, dude, there's like mud. So the trail that you guys may or may not know what we're talking about, but it's this really cool in East Orlando. It's called Ikalanahashi, and it's this like river that goes through all of the east side of Orlando. And there's this park, and it's called Blanchard Park. There's a YMCA there, but they have this like 10-foot wide concrete path that goes maybe like 8 miles west, and it goes all along the river. It's freaking sick. And they have like, you know, patios and grills and like space for you to hang out and all that stuff. So like
Courts,
you can ride
tennis,
there.
basketball.
Yeah, man. Yeah, all of that. And you see like turtles, you see like tons of birds, like people are fishing out there. Like it's super cool. So basically what had happened is all of the water from the hurricane here in Florida recently had like overflowed the river, and it like knocked down some trees. So the path is like filled with debris, and it's like muddy. And like I take it on my bike, and like it got a bunch of mud on it and all that, and I had to clean it. And I was like, yeah, no, lame.
Yeah, no, the hurricane did a number on that strip. I don't know if you know, off Econ, there's like a small river that shoots off and runs next to like Rouse Road, and that overflowed. There's actually a bunch of employees at the company that lived in that area. Houses are just flooded. Like I'm talking.
Gosh.
Halfway through the door is just water, underwater, and it actually collapsed the road. So the road was completely busted up for like a while. I think only one lane is open right now.
Oh
but
my gosh.
literally, I was watching aerial footage, and a whole lane is just gone, like sinkhole gone.
Wow.
I was like, damn.
That is
I
so
had like
unfortunate, man.
I lived like a block from there, and a bunch of people at work were like texting me like, "Are you okay? Are you I just saw this on the news." Sent me screens. I'm like, "Damn!" And I wasn't even at my house though. I was at my girlfriend's place. I was like, "Damn!"
I better go check out my house.
Yeah, right. But like, I'm elevated enough, so I was good. I was good. How'd you
house,
guys
like,
make it out over
Your driveway's like elevated, right? Yeah. So
there?
your
Yeah,
house is
yeah.
a
So I
little
was
bit up.
alright. A little bit of water in the pool, but you know, it's up.
That's where it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Water's
exactly.
supposed to be in the pool, yeah. No, we ended up all right. Everything was fine. The way that this side, so like my office, I won't go too much into detail, but like, you know how my office used to be a carport, it got closed in. Here where you come in, it's actually a little step, right? So it's this, where I'm sitting right now is probably like a few inches lower than the house itself. And water actually builds up on the side of my house here. So because we got a lot of rain, actually right here where I'm sitting, a lot of water was starting to like come in. Like, so like Tina was at my house at the time, and we were all like, me and her were just laying down towels and like wringing them out, laying down towels, wringing them out, laying down towels, like, and bro, like if we didn't do all of that, I probably would have had like 2 or 3 inches. No, dude. I probably would have had a few inches that was all just like, I mean, not over the whole thing, but probably like concentrated here. And so what we did is like in the middle of the hurricane, this fucking wind is going crazy. We're like, shit, we need more towels. So we walk over to her house, you know, because she lives, 100 feet away. We get all these towels, we come back, and we start doing the same thing. And then it comes to a point where it's like midnight, right? Because we lay them down, and then, okay, we go away for like 30, 45 minutes. Okay, we come back, blah, blah, blah. So then it comes down to a point where, okay, it's like midnight. We're not going to stay up all night doing this. We're going to set up the last line of defense, and then it is what it is,
It is what it is.
So
man.
I'm like, it isn't her house, right? This is my house. So like, she's kind of like, okay, sleeping like a baby. Like, bro, I'm waking up like every 2 hours. I'm waking up like
looking through the door.
Like, hey, like, is everything
Am I underwater?
The thing is, I would wake up, but I wouldn't like go to check it. Like I would wake up just because I'm just like stressed. I'm
In
like,
your head,
oh, no.
yeah.
But it's like okay, because my thought process is okay, yeah, I'm waking up. Okay, yeah, it's a little stressful. But if I like get out of my bed right here to like go look at it, like it's not gonna change anything.
No,
it's not gonna change anything. Like at this point, just go back to bed, and then I would sleep for a few more hours. I woke up probably twice or 3 times, but I just had that same process. Like, hey, dude, like it is what it is, bro. Cool. Like go back to bed.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's not like I was getting. It's not like I was getting the amount of water like what you're talking about, right? It was just more. Yeah. Mine was like like it was literally an inconvenience compared to some of these other people. Like really.
Oh my god, yeah, on the coast.
Like my buddy, you know him, Alex. He has a few kids. He has his wife.
Yeah.
I think you met
Titusville?
him, right? No, not Titusville. He lives around Geneva.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's a little bit older.
I did.
He's a little bit older, probably in his 40s. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah.
Yeah.
He has a house over in Geneva, and they probably have like 10 acres. Like it's crazy. They have they have a ton of land, and like apparently what had happened is there was so much water that, and it was all going into one river, which is the St. Johns River, which goes like all the way through Florida or like through large parts of Florida. And they live not like near it, but they live like in that general area. And like they had gotten like throughout those 10 acres, everything got flooded. Like his entire 10 acres got so much water that it like got to his house, and he was stranded, bro. Like his driveway, dude, you know what I mean? He has like so much land that it's not really his driveway, but like,
it's a drive
dude, in order to get from like the house, I mean the road that his house is on, it's like, let's say 300 feet probably. And in order for people to like get him supplies, like gas to run his generator and a few things like that, dude, they had to swim like on their kayaks. They had to like swim it over. Like it was
boats and everything.
And I tell you what, man, I've lived in Florida my whole life, and so have you, right? And for me, and for me, from my personal experience, hurricanes have never been. From my personal experience, in my limited scope, obviously, everyone has different experiences.
Past 29 years.
Exactly. But for me, it's never been the wind that has been devastating. It's always been the water. Always. Yeah. It's, yes, okay, wind comes, it hits over a few houses, or it, blows something into your window, okay, whatever.
The water.
The water is always what's the killer, man. Yeah. Always the killer.
It is. And you know what? The problem is that we're only getting lower and lower. So this flooding, I think this is the worst flooding I've ever seen. Or at least been like directly impacted by,
Here in Central Florida, for sure, yeah. Here in Central Florida,
in Central Florida, this is the most flooding I've seen. I mean, we had something, I think the last hurricane, we had some rough flooding in Miami, like to the point where sewers were at 100%, like overflowing in the streets. But like, here, like this is the most I've seen here, and here's in Central Florida. We're pretty high up. Like we've been okay the last few hurricanes. We haven't seen like complete wiping.
The problem is not the problem, but the reality is that we have a lot of lakes and bodies of water around us.
Yeah,
and that I think is what the reason why, right? Which is good because that's a place for us to put the water. But then it's like, okay, if we're putting all this water in the same places, and we just get overwhelmed.
Yeah. And a big problem, too, is like we're building and building and building more, and then we start building these large retention ponds when we push back the water. So right there on Rouse, right? They built this new commercial building. It's got, I think, 10 units, small parking lot. And
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, on the corner of Rouse and University. Yeah.
Right on the corner, right there. They built
it's not leased yet, right? It's not leased.
No. They just finished it, I think, a minute ago. But they couldn't fill it because they had to build a retention pond to offset the water. So they started building the retention pond behind it, and they didn't finish it in time. So during the storm, that thing was completely underwater.
Really?
Yeah, it was underwater. It was gone, man. It was gone. Like, not completely, but like I'm telling you, it was. They even built it down a little bit.
Yeah,
they didn't build it up.
It's down. Yeah,
down at least a foot.
Yeah.
So the homes I was talking about, where it's like up to middle of the door kind of thing, it's middle of the door plus a foot.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was rough. And
that
that's the thing.
investor's fucked, dude. That investor's fucked.
Fuck. But you know what? The county signed off on it. Someone signed off on it. Oh, yeah, as long as you build a retention pond in the back, you'll be all right.
But they didn't finish it.
But they didn't finish it. Yeah. And it's just, that's what we're doing. We are pushing it and building homes lower and lower and businesses lower. Like, we're going to be underwater. We saw the schemas back in, like, I don't know, 10 years ago, where teachers in geography were like, yeah, by the year 2050, Florida's going to be, the size of some small state. It's going to be the size of New York. I was like, yo. You say it's crazy, but, like, now they're contemplating rebuilding out there in Fort Myers. Because they're like, if this happens again...
Yeah, they're screwed.
So might as well just call that beach now and move back a little bit. No, it's a real problem. It's just like, how can we safely decide to put homes there again?
Yeah.
After all of this, and the flooding is not gone. It's not going away. Like,
would you rather have hurricanes or would you rather have earthquakes? Me and my buddy were talking about this the other day.
Yeah, it's a common question, especially now. One just hit.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to say hurricanes, because the earth is not literally shaking underneath me. I can actually stand, and I feel somewhat secure, even though that, like, the wind and the rain and everything's turning around me. I can still stand on my 2 feet without being thrown against my will.
Yeah.
Unless I'm outside in the wind.
I guess the way that I think about it is, because I agree, right? And you can also prepare, like, for hurricanes, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the way that I think of it is, like, the amount of impact per second, right?
Yeah, that too.
It's like, for a hurricane, it's almost like a slow death in a way, right? You're kind of like, oh my God, like, versus an earthquake, let's say it happens, maximum, I don't know earthquake maximums for those freaking geologists or whoever the hell knows what earthquake maximums. Right. But I'm going to say maximum earthquake is like 30 seconds, 1 minute, right? Like, okay, once it happens, it's over. Yeah. And then we can let's assess. And I assume that, and the thing is, you assume that the buildings that are made, not only in places where there's earthquakes, but also in places that there are hurricanes, you would assume that, like, people are building, there are certain standards that you need to meet in order to, like,
you should
build a building that can withstand this type of natural disaster because you're in this type of area. So I assume that the buildings that are in places that have earthquakes and the buildings that are built here where they have hurricanes, they should be built to withstand this stuff, right?
They should be.
Like, it should be a standard. Like, there shouldn't be like you have the option to build it to not withstand a... it should be like, okay, no, this is the only option to, like, it's either this, minimum level or higher, right?
But here's the problem. You get city zoning coming in telling you, hey, I want to build a mega mall. I'll build my mega mall up to the standards of the hurricane, but I need workers that work low-income jobs, so I need low-income housing. Low-income housing is probably not going to have those fancy things. So let's build a trailer park right on the beach in Fort Myers. It doesn't meet any code, but it's a trailer park. So the fact that it's mobile means that it's not a structure, meaning that you don't need a permit for a structure. If anything happens, they'll just drive it away. Who's moving their
trailer
when a storm's coming? Yeah, exactly. So you know what the storm did? Wrecked the trailer park. I have a friend that, like, her uncle's home, gone. There's nothing left. There's nothing left. They wanted to go back and see if they can find some stuff. It's literally nothing. There's just an empty lot. That's it.
God.
The whole park, like 100 plus trailers, just empty lot.
Wow.
Just grass.
Like, that's crazy, dude. That is nuts. Yeah. I mean,
so building code to a minimum, will protect you, but
But I mean, in those certain instances, right? That's like a loophole around it, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, okay, yes, these are mobiles, and there's certain things, and, like, I mean, if you think about it, because they went through that in order to go through that loophole, then they should have moved it, right? Like, I mean, in all reality, but 9 times out of 10, if you're in one of those things, you could potentially be lower income. And can you scrounge up the 5 or 10 grand that you would need to move it? Because that's how much it costs to move one of those things, right?
Yeah. No one's doing it. They're not sending in aid. The owners of the trailer park they're not doing it.
Yeah.
The highways are closing off early. Like no one's interested in that. There's no money to be made. I don't care about it. It's a trailer. It's fine. I got insurance.
Yeah.
But
I think that's that's actually been a huge thing, like insurance rates. Like
yeah. Everyone's getting a new roof right now.
Yeah, bro.
They're
gonna raise insurance rates. Yeah.
Mine just went up. Shoot, I looked at my deductible because I was like, oh, what happens if I just yanked off 1 or 2 shingles and be like, I need a new roof. Wow, the storm, the wind, that's crazy.
You're literally talking about insurance fraud right now. This is You're joking, right? This is for comedic purposes. Yeah.
For comedic purposes, like Ducky, I'm only a comedian.
Yes.
It's for a friend. Exactly. But I thought about it, I'm like, the deductible's way too high. I ain't doing it.
Yeah, it's not worth it. Yeah.
Nah, I'll wait for something else to hit, like a hailstorm or some shit like that. I don't know.
I can't believe we get hail down here. I can't believe we get hail in the southeast. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
How?
No.
I guess if you think about it, like the higher that you get in the sky, the colder it gets. So that actually makes sense. So like if you're like up high in the sky, yeah.
I've never seen like pigeon-sized hail yet, though. That would be interesting as hell to see.
Pigeon-sized hail?
Apparently that's a thing. Some places. I don't remember where I heard that.
So you're talking like the size of a softball? Yeah,
like softball smashing into your screen or into your windshield while you're driving down the road. Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Right? Just giant balls of just
ice.
Right into your windshield.
Gosh. That is not... I don't want to have a snowball fight with solid ice.
No, I would rather not. Nor would your car.
Dude, I have to get a new car, actually. My freaking...
You're there now?
Thing is like there's a lot of little things going wrong. Like when your car gets this old, which I'm sure some people can relate to. I mean, I have a 2007. It's not like it's a freaking 1980 whatever. But the thing is, things start to deteriorate, you know? Like the glue in certain places start to deteriorate. Like certain just things, you know, it's not made to last forever, right?
No.
So
not anymore.
Yeah. So like things are starting to degrade. So one of the things, I have like a sunroof, and when it rains, I don't know if it's like what's clogged, like a drainage system I think is clogged in it.
Yeah.
And what's happening is water's like literally going into my car.
In.
Like there was a day where I just didn't, like it was 3 days in a row and I didn't realize it, and it had rained every day. And I literally go like, and it wasn't just regular rain, like it was very heavy rain. And I go in my car, like in the front seat, that's where it was isolated at. Bro, 3 inches of water in my front.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
3 inches.
Yeah, dude.
Jesus.
And it had like soaked, so like, and it was more than that because it had soaked down into the car.
Soaked up the carpet and all that. Oh my God.
So it was like now there. And like and I was going to get a haircut at the time. And I was like, fuck, I don't have time for this. So I got in my car and I was driving. And like, bro, I went to back up. And you just hear the water swishing back and forth. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the most frustrating thing. Like,
oh my God.
It's terrible, dude.
No, I know the feeling. I have my Miata, right?
Really?
So I have a Miata. And the convertible top on there is a little weak sometimes. It was worse. But I got a new one and it's all patched up. We're good to go now. But before, I was about to drill a hole in the floor because it let in that much water every time. And I don't know if y'all know about Florida rain, but Florida rain is not normal rain.
It is consistent.
Consistent, heavy, 5 p.m. every day when you're trying to leave work.
Boom, boom, boom.
Nothing but rain. And I was just getting tired of it. I didn't have a garage at the point, so I was like, bro, I'm ready to drill a hole in the floor so it would drain and not just rust everything.
Yeah.
I almost did, but I didn't. I got a garage.
There you go. And you got a new top.
And I got a new top. Yeah. Exactly.
That's the problem. I don't have a garage. Yeah. So I need to fix that. But then I'm looking at like new car prices and I'm like, bro, I can't even do it. I can't stomach paying like over $20,000 for a 2000 2015 Honda Accord. You know what I mean? I can't.
Yeah, no. And the problem is the car market right now is insane. My friend
I heard it's gonna go down.
It should. With
That's
housing,
what I heard.
it should follow the trend. But my
Yeah.
friend just bought a car for like $5K over MSRP. I'm just like, you guys are selling them for more money than they suggested that you sell them at, and people are still buying them. Like what? No one is outraged.
They brought
Like,
it. They bought it brand new.
Yeah, brand new, right off the lot. I'm just like, this is crazy.
But I heard there's like a lot of repos going on, and like also
Yeah.
with inventories. So what happened with the pandemic is like everyone had, there was a huge demand, right? And then all the inventory was low. So people were expecting the demand to continue. So they put in like huge orders.
Yeah.
And now that those orders are actually being fulfilled, the demand may not be there. And it's for specific things, like maybe even specific pandemic related things. Not everything, but specific pandemic related things. Like as an example, like yoga pants, right? Like yoga pants blew up during the pandemic because everyone's working from home, and you could argue and say that, okay, people are still working from home now, but everyone already bought all the yoga pants, right? And they thought that trend for yoga pants was going to continue. So they put in all these orders for yoga pants, which trickled down the line. But now by the time all these yoga pants have arrived, everyone's over it. You know what I mean? So there could be actually some big sales going on that they're saying, like, because inventories
I'm expecting it.
Yeah. And considering the recession, like they, arguably we're, by definition, we're technically in a recession. So
the new definition.
Yeah. But the demand should be going down as well. So it's like, oh shit. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just glad that I own what I own already, and I'm not in the market to buy anything right now. Anything big, because it's just not looking great. But I'm assuming, I don't know, maybe end of the year, post Black Friday, we might get, some shit just going on a flash sale, and then I'll go scoop up what I need to scoop up.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah. But until then, I'm gonna hang back. I'm good.
The thing is like, you think about the lifestyle, and I feel like we're pretty similar in this way. Like I'm personally not much of a shopper. Like I'm not, like I don't like to just go to stores and just like buy stuff.
Browse and buy.
Yeah, no. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, once in a while, like, okay, if I'm going with my girlfriend to the store, okay, I look around and like, okay, whatever. But that's not something I do in my pastime. For me, it's more of like, if I need something, the first thing that I do is I'm like, okay, do I have something that could fulfill this need that I just, maybe forgot about that I had? Or I
in
could,
the house.
Yeah, exactly. Or I could like multi-purpose, like use this for something specifically.
Exactly. Can I figure it out before I have to make a whole trip to the store?
Exactly. and then I kind of say, okay, then when I find, okay, I don't have that, then I think, okay, is this really a need that I have? Like, do I need
right now?
Yeah, and like, do I need to do this? Like, I can't really think of an example right now, but it's just like simple stuff, right? Like, do I need to buy a potato peeler, right? Like, okay, yeah, maybe I'm peeling potatoes, or I'm interested in peeling potatoes right now, but it's like, do I really peel
I can use a
potatoes?
knife and like
knife and like the skin leaving it on, is it that much of a big of a deal? Like,
it's fine. It's
fine.
It's
Then
okay.
I kind of just get over it, right? But then the third instance is usually like, I'm like, oh no. And sometimes I just want it. Like, as an example, like maybe you need t-shirts, or like you need a few more t-shirts. Yeah, you could literally wear out the freaking t-shirts that you have until they're like freaking yellow on your pit stains and like all of this stuff. But you kind of say, okay, no, I should probably get a few more t-shirts. And
It's
then
time.
Exactly. And then sometimes there are instances where like I spend the money and then I look back and then I say, okay, I'm glad I spent the money on this, right? Because but I try to make sure that I feel that way, and I don't feel the way that I'm like, oh man, like that was dumb. Like I shouldn't spend money.
Useless.
Yeah.
No,
exactly.
I'm the same way. I'm stupid cheap. My girlfriend hates it, and like, it's just usually when I'm ready to leave the house, or I'm getting ready to leave the house to go to the store to buy something, I ask myself, do I need it? How much does it cost? Can I find it cheaper on Amazon if I really need it? And I go through the whole list of like, do I actually have to buy this right now? And my biggest driver is cost, and then like leaving the house. Because once I'm home after work and whatever else, I usually don't want to leave to go pick up something stupid.
Yeah. Unless it's food.
Unless it's food, yeah, you know. But even food, man, shit, I got food in the fridge.
Yeah,
I really, like, you know, I don't even want to leave for food sometimes. It's like, I got some rice, I'll make it work.
Yeah.
You know? That's usually how my hierarchy goes. Like, cost, once I get over the cost, so I find something on sale or something like that, okay. Closeness and easiest to access, okay, it's 1 block down the road, it's ready, I talk to them, confirm they have it. All right, fine. Do I really need it? Can I not get it anywhere else? All right, fine. I'll get out the house and I'll go get it. And is there anything else can I get while I'm out on the road that I need? Like, that way I don't have to go out 2 more times in the same day. Yeah. I hate going to the grocery store twice in the same day.
Oh, yeah. That's how I feel about Home Depot, actually.
All of it. Oh, my God. Home Depot, Lowe's, any store.
Yeah.
If I have to go more than once in the same day and, like, I knew I should have got something else, I'm just pissed at myself.
Dumb.
It's a waste.
It's a waste.
Like, damn it, I'm going tomorrow. Screw
this. I'll be fine. I don't need it.
I'll be fine. Exactly. No, it's useless. It's useless.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that's... It's just how it goes, though. Leaving the house and making the effort to get up and go and do something else. I have to either find enjoyment from it or really want it. Therefore, probably find some kind of enjoyment from it or what it will produce or something like that, you know?
But leaving the house to get alcohol is a different category, I'd say.
Totally different category, bro. Totally
Leaving,
different category.
going to get some drinks with some friends. It's like, okay. I'll leave the house for that. And I'll spend $100 in one night and like, you know what's happened. It's happened.
My God. Oh, my friend had a birthday party. We went down to Senior Frogs on an iDrive, and I was like, oh, yeah, I'll be a little conservative, whatever.
Bullshit.
Man, but me, when I go out, and I forget that when I go out, I go out.
Yeah.
So I went down there, and I was throwing, I'm like, yeah, I'll buy you a birthday shot, man, no problem, bro, no problem. Swiping, bought my brother a beer, you know, yeah, it's your birthday, we're going to have fun, right? It's a birthday party. And then I get home the next morning, I wake up, I get over my little grogginess, and then I think about noon, I whip open my phone, I'm like, how much did I spend that night? I guess I ate too. I had a meal. I'm scrolling. I'm like, why is there like 10 charges here for like 25 a pop?
Oh, God.
What did I drink last night? What in the world?
Dude, you were also in like the touristy part of Orlando.
Yeah.
Like
big tourist area. I'm like, damn, why did I get those tacos? Shit.
Did I eat those tacos?
Right. Were they for the table? Did I like the people at the table that much? Like, shit.
You know what helps with that, actually? If you only bring out cash.
Yeah, I used to do that, but then I got reward points on my card. And I fell the other way.
But I tell you this, bro. If you would have brought out $100, like you would have brought out a $100 bill, and you said, okay, this is what I can buy tonight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't get those points, but that would have saved you $150.
You were right.
Points. Like, I get points. It's all good. Yeah, you neglect the other, $500 that you spent on. Yeah,
bro, you're so right. You're so right. I know it's true too, but
the only way it's worth it is when people pay you back. Like, I love it. Like, I love it when like my girlfriend buys something. Like the other day, she's going to Colorado to see a few friends for the weekend or whatever, and we bought the tickets during the hurricane because we were like tracking the prices and we're like, okay, it's the best price, whatever. She didn't bring her wallet, and I'm the only one who had the wallet, and I'm like, hey, you're gonna pay me back? She's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. See, because then it's free money,
Shit, untaxed, we're good.
That's right.
No, I did the same thing whenever we go out for lunch at work or something. I'll be like, oh yeah, I got it, I'll put it on mine, and then you guys just Venmo me or some shit, I'm like, yeah, hit them points real quick. Let's go.
Right. Dude, I got hella cash back right now. I have almost $1,000 worth of cash back.
Jeez, all right.
I just haven't touched it. Yeah, I just haven't touched it.
That's good, man. That's good. Yeah, I got a cashback card and a travel rewards, so I got miles and cash. And Amazon's always like, hey, you trying to use them? I'm like, no, Leave it
Relax. Yeah, see, the reason why I didn't go with like a rewards card and I just did straight cash is just because I don't know. I think that they're like more in control of that. Like they can actually dictate what your points are worth.
Very true.
So when you go to trade in a flight, exactly. So when you go to trade in a flight, yeah, okay, maybe I don't know the numbers. You would know them more. But yeah, okay, this flight to New York from Orlando is 3,000 points. But then you look back and be like, oh yeah, like I actually do want to go to New York. Maybe next week you look back and now it's like 4,000 points, and you're like, what?
Versus dollars.
Exactly. Versus cash, it's like, okay, I have the cash, and now it's my responsibility to like look up all this stuff.
400 is 400.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right now,
which card do you use?
Yeah, so I have Wells Fargo. I think it's Active Cash. I think it's called, but it's basically just 2% flat.
Okay.
2% back flat, like on everything, no matter what. So some have like rotating. Yeah, bro. Some have like rotating categories and all this stuff, and I'm like, no. Fuck all that noise. I personally value simplicity a lot. Give me the 2%. That's a great rate. Like everything I buy, I get 2% back. It's like a little piggy bank. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I use. Yeah.
I use Capital One Venture One and Capital One Saver or whatever. And
okay.
They're like, I think one of them is like 1.5 and one of them is like 2.
Okay.
I'm looking for something higher because I know it's out there.
Yeah.
I think it's usually the rotating ones where you can get up to like 2 or 3 on gas.
Sometimes it's like 5. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm tempted to see if I can like break into that and really leverage the rewards because it's out there. I'm spending the money one way or another,
Yeah.
So if I could leverage the gas at 5%, it's like, gas is that much cheaper for me.
And that's what some people do. That's why some people will have like multiple cards, right? So like one card, I know that some cards will be like, okay, gas and groceries are 5%. And then another card will be like, okay, travel, hotel, and entertainment is like 3 times points. And then another card will say, I don't know, some other shit is like 3% or something like that. And then they'll say, okay, this card is for these purchases, this card is for these purchases, this card is for these purchases, right? So you could do it that way. But the thing is, for me, I'm just like, I don't want to have to think, bro. It's like, okay, this is my credit card. Here you go. Boom. This is my credit card. Here it is. Yeah.
Android Pay, boom, done.
Yeah,
one
done.
card.
It's like, which card? Where am I? What's going on? Like, no.
Yeah, right.
The more thinking
what's in
I
the
can
basket.
Yeah, bro. Like the more thinking I can just simplify, because I just feel like I think so much at work. If I can just make my life outside of work as simple as possible,
right?
Then like that's the most value. Like it's so much value.
Simplicity, and it's the same thing. Like when it comes to then reconciling the card or paying for it, it's just like, how many apps do I have to go into now to pay off all my cards? So
that's time now. Now we're talking time.
Yeah,
not only brain power, now it's time.
They have different processing times. Like one bank will take 3 days to pull the money out your checking account. One bank will take 2 days, and that's just like
dude. And that's why I bank with Wells Fargo, because everything is like all in one, and like when I pay, it's just like boom, done.
Bing,
and I'm
bing,
like,
boom. Yeah.
I'm good. Yeah.
Nah, I bank with a local like Fifth Third bank, so I'm just like, that's fine. I don't want to use them for credit card. I did for a while, and then the salesman at the restaurant, the salesman at the branch was like, "Oh yeah, you can get this credit card. It's on me. It's no problem. There's 0 fees."
On you? What do you mean it's on you?
I was
what
like,
does that
all
mean?
right,
Like
whatever.
The first year's on you, so like I could just run this tab up. Like what do you mean?
All right. No, and then I get there, and I think 2 months pass, and then I see a monthly fee, and I'm like, monthly fee? Y'all not even giving me cash back. What are you talking about, monthly fee? The dude at the branch said it was free. I called them up right away, and he's like, "Oh, well, actually, I don't know who lied to you, but no, it's not." I was like, "The fuck? Cancel that shit right now.
You better get Brad on the phone. That's what I...
Yes, thank you. I spoke with Brad, and Brad told me this. Yes.
Yeah.
He said, well, you signed the credit card terms of agreement, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, cancel that shit.
No.
Cancel it.
Yeah, because also the credit cards have yearly fees.
Yeah. So
the
some
one that
of
I have don't have
really
the one that I have
high rewards one.
Yeah.
Has the fees, but sometimes you make up the fees and the points. But is it really worth it?
That's the thing. You got to look at like what the card. So with that, $200 or sometimes $500, $600, $700 fee, what do you get, right? Because usually, if you're paying like $500, $600 for a credit card, They got some good ass rewards, right? But
yeah.
But you have to think about your lifestyle and say, okay,
like use it
exactly. Am I the type of person that uses Uber Eats a lot? Am I the type of person that has like $50 worth of subscription services? Am I the type of person that does this, that does that, right? And
where do I fit?
Exactly. But the thing is with those expensive credit cards is like, not only are you paying $550 or whatever, and if you think about it, the amount of rewards that you get definitely outweighs the credit card payment that you would pay.
But use of it.
Yes. But I think what happens is that you actually get really, think about it this way. You get used to that lifestyle. Like if you think, oh yeah, like I have, I don't know, $100 worth of free Uber credits, right? Over the whole year. Do you know how quickly do you know how quickly you can use $100 in Uber credits? That's like
one
less
transaction.
Yeah, you can. You could potentially use in one transaction. But then you just think to yourself, "Oh, I have these Uber credits. Oh, I have these Uber credits. I'll just take Uber. I'll just take Uber. I'll just take Uber."
Nope.
And then they'll do the same thing for travel. Be like, "Oh yeah, well, my thing does this." And now it's actually roping you into you get these things for free, but now they're roping you into having a more expensive lifestyle because you think you get these things for free, and you actually start spending more money at those things.
Yeah, because now
than you would have in the past. Yeah.
Now you're being marketed to. Your account is there. We send you emails. We send you evites. I looked at Instacart for the first time last week, right? And in the past week, I've gotten every ad on YouTube has been about Instacart. I've gotten emails telling me that, hey, Instacart discount, order now, get 20% off. In the past week, I've never signed up for Instacart before, but just the past week, I looked on there to see if like my local Publix had something because I couldn't find it in the Publix app. And I was like, oh, okay, wow. The Instacart really pushing.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the little bit of introductory money they lose. It's fine because I'll get it all back. You have an account now.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what they do, like for the credit cards. Like the credit cards probably partner with these organizations and say, the statistic shows, because they're probably thinking. You remember what you said, like, oh, I got points, like just swipe. That's exactly what we think. But now that they're narrowing the scope and saying, oh yeah, we're giving you rewards for these companies. I think you spend more money when you're given rewards for those types of things.
Exactly.
So
that's what this rewards program with all these other companies are. Even the small mom and pop. Oh, you got 3 points in your Cash App from buying donuts last week. Keep swiping and you get 10
keep
more.
buying donuts. It's like
it's the gamification of it.
What Wells Fargo does and what my credit card does is they actually have these rotating deals that they have like on the website. So when you log in, you you go to your credit card and like under your credit card, it'll be
7% off Adidas.
Yeah, it'll be like, but they actually have a lot of different places, but it'll be like 30 different places that they rotate, I think like every couple of weeks or every month. But you click activate on them, but it'll be like, okay, 10% cash back if you buy at, I don't know, 1-800-Flowers, or 5% cash back if you go to Five Guys, and like 3% additional cash back if you shop at Under Armour. So they're almost like, hey, we'll give you this extra cash back if you like are shopping at these institutions, right? And like, and then you're like, I'm getting the cash back and I'm getting 3% anyway, so I'm gonna spend an extra $200 than I wasn't gonna spend anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because the 3%.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like, dude, that doesn't make sense. Like that math literally doesn't make sense. Like,
my problem is with like my card is I have to do it through the app. So I can't just say activate and then swipe my physical card. They'll be like, oh, okay, activate, and then do it through our web portal or some shit like that. I'm like, come on. That ruins the experience. I just want to activate and go to the store and swipe.
Yeah.
That would make it that much easier for me to be retained as a customer. But they don't do that, which is why I usually don't fall into that trap. And they have some good ones on there.
They do it at Wells Fargo, though. All you got to do is click activate, and whatever you swipe, it counts. Really? Yeah,
Damn,
it's
that's
good.
too good.
It is.
I've seen some really good ones in there, like 8% off Target or 15% off Adidas and Nike. I'm just like,
see, I like the ones where it's like you said, 8% off, or if I'm getting cash back from a place like Target or Walmart or Costco or whatever, because like I'm gonna go to those places anyway. So like if I'm gonna go to places that like I need to buy stuff, like I'm all about that. But what gets you is the incentive of like, okay, at Nike, right? Were we thinking about Nike before we even like saw that? Or did you even want to buy anything at Nike before you saw that cash back or whatever the fuck it is? No,
matter.
you did it exactly. And now you're gonna go to fucking Nike and be like, I guess
bro.
I need some shoes. I guess I need some kit. You know, whatever.
Advertising.
Bro.
No, and that's the thing. They're roping you in ever so slowly, just by dropping a name, by dropping a logo. That's all they need to put it in your head. And then when your friend says Adidas, oh, you know what the logo looks like because you saw it in your head because you saw it earlier.
They're
It's
brainwashing
the simple
us all, bro.
association.
They're
I know.
brainwashing us. And you know what? We're gonna brainwash our listeners. Remember the fucking hallway, bitches. That's right. Ingrain this shit into your head. Hallway. We'll give you 100% cash back on everything that you donate to us. Right. So give us money and we'll just give you the money back. Okay.
Buy me a beer. I'll put my my whatever Venmo in the.
There you go.
Chat.
We're not hot girls, so I don't think anyone's gonna Venmo us. So.
I'll send feet pics.
Feet pics, feet finder.
Oh my god.
Awesome. Love you guys. Thank you. Thanks for walking down with us in the hallway. Chris, great to be back, and we'll see you guys soon.
Yeah. Catch y'all later.